Todd Dugan here from Maximum Impact Golf. Folks, I want to talk about why with an on-plane putting stroke you want to strike the putt at the putter head's low point of travel on the plane, and I want to show you that that's what some of the very best putters are in fact doing. So let's start out here with me using a belly putter, and I just want to show you some good geometry here of how the belly putter works, and you'll start to see why it can be so effective. So we're going to make a true pendulum stroke here. This pendulum is at an angle though. You'll see that from the side, but from the front we want the shaft to be vertical on the plane here, or 90 degrees to the intended starting line of the putt. And so the shaft is fixed at the butt end, so we have a fixed pivot or fulcrum point here, and that's part of what makes the belly putter so effective, is that we're really going to control where that low point occurs. And the low point will occur when the shaft becomes vertical again on the plane. So just like the arm of a grandfather clock, if you would imagine swinging back, when the shaft returns to vertical on its downswing, it will be moving parallel to the ground and also parallel to its plane of motion. So that's very important, as we'll see. So let's watch that belly putter swing through here. You can see that the putter head comes up off the ground, and the amount that it does so is predetermined by the fact that the fulcrum point is fixed. And as the putter swings down and returns to vertical, the putter head is moving parallel to the ground, as you can see there. So let's take a look at the plane from the side. Got a great old video here of Bobby Jones, and so the plane that you putt on is determined by the shaft angle at address, so that becomes the vertical component of the plane, and the horizontal nature of the plane here is determined by the intended starting line. So Bobby's trying to putt right out here, so the plane itself, the baseline or bottom edge of the plane, will rest just inside but parallel to that intended starting line. And the reason it's just inside the intended starting line is because the sweet spot of the putter is not in line with the shaft. If that were a center shafted putter, then the plane would actually rest right on the intended starting line itself. So the plane is imaginary, it's flat, it's inclined, and it's very skinny on one side, but could be very long along the ground. So it can extend, if you would imagine, out towards the golfer there you see up by the hole, and then back this way towards the camera. So when we putt on plane, we want to keep the shaft on that plane that we've just described there. And when we do, the putter head will only be moving directly at the intended starting line at the low point on the plane. But let's take a look at the shaft moving back and forth on the plane, and you'll see as it moves on this straight line that is angled or inclined, that the putter head itself will follow a circular arc in relation to the target line. So on the way back, the putter head comes up and inside the target line as it adheres to the plane, and then moves back down and outward to the ball. At the low point, the putter head's moving parallel to the baseline of the plane, and then the putter head and shaft move up and in on the follow-through as we adhere to that plane. So let's take a look at a few of the greatest putters, and I want to show you that they are striking the putts at low point with that on-plane or arcing stroke. Let's take a look at Seve Ballesteros here, who should be on anybody's short list of the greatest putters of all time. And so you see the putter head here descending into impact, and then right about there is impact, and you can see how low the putter head is to the ground, and then it begins to come up there. So as we take a look at that impact zone, I think you can agree that the putt is being struck at the low point there. That's when the putter head again is moving parallel to the ground. We can also call that a 0-degree angle of attack, so neither descending nor ascending. Let's take a look at Tiger Woods, probably the greatest putter of all time, who has a beautiful on-plane stroke, and I believe he strikes the putt at the low point, as you'll see here. So watch Tiger complete his backstroke here, and watch the putter head descend into the impact zone, and right there is just a fraction before impact, and you can see again how low the putter head is to the ground, and then coming up after impact. And you can also get a good look at the circular arc of that putter head as it moves on the inclined plane. And so I think these frames right here, 1, 2, 3, show that if Tiger's not hitting the putt right at low point, it's very, very close to it. Let's also take a look at Brad Faxon, considered one of the greatest putters of his generation. So here's just again a fraction of a second before impact. Putter head's very, very low to the ground, and then the next frame the ball has been struck, but you see the putter moving very low to the ground, parallel to the ground. I think we're seeing Brad strike that putt at the low point there, and you're also going to watch the shaft continue on the inclined plane, so the putter head won't move down the target line after impact, but rather up and in relation to the target line as it adheres to that inclined plane. Okay, so let's just get one more look at impact here. This is a high-speed video I took. It's a little blurry because the resolution goes down as I up the frame rate to 420 frames per second. But let's watch the putter head move through the impact zone here. And that's impact right about there. You're going to see that the putter head's moving parallel to the ground at the low point, and the shaft is 90 degrees. And that should occur in a true pendulum putting stroke. So the putter head here is moving very parallel to the ground through the impact zone as it strikes the ball at the low point. So let's get a look at that coming up there. And so let's also get a look at the roll of the ball. Some people think you're going to put the best roll in the ball when you hit up on a putt, but here's a putt struck with a 0-degree angle of attack with the true loft of the putter here at impact indicated by the 90-degree shaft vertical on the plane, 90 degrees to the target line at impact, and this putter has 3 degrees of loft. So I did mark the ball there, I positioned the mark on the ball vertical so we could get a look at the roll of the ball, and this putt was struck sort of firmly, so you're going to see the ball skid and launch forward as a putt generally does, and then it lands right about there, and you can see that the ball has turned over already with a little bit of overspin during its initial skid or launch. So that's a good pure roll right there, hitting the putt at the low point with the shaft vertical on the plane. That's the only time the putter head is moving directly at the intended starting line, when you putt on a plane that's parallel to the intended starting line. So thanks for joining me. I hope this helps you, and I hope to see you again soon.